Hey coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to my channel where we explore rare and valuable coins from around the world. First up, we have something truly unique, the Australia 10 cents 1976 coin with black dots and green spots. You might have seen one of these in your collection, but do you know its history, design, and its true collector's value in today's market? Stick around, because you won't believe how much this coin could be worth. Let's start with a little history. The Australian 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia switched to the decimal currency system. The 1976 version is part of the second decade of decimal coinage, minted at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. This particular 1976 edition wasn't considered rare when first released, as millions were produced. However, over time, some unique errors and toning variations have been discovered, making certain coins highly desirable among collectors. One of these variations includes black dots and green spots, which can form due to environmental factors, oxidation, or a unique chemical reaction during minting. Some experts believe these marks result from metal impurities, while others think it could be due to the way the coin has been stored over the decades. Now, let's talk about the design. Obverse. This side features the famous portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This was the standard design for many Australian coins from the late 1960s to the 1980s. The words Elizabeth II and Australia 1976 are inscribed around her portrait. Reverse. The reverse side displays the superb lyrebird, an iconic Australian bird known for its mimicry skills. This design was created by the renowned sculptor Stuart Devlin, who designed several of Australia's decimal coins. The denomination 10 is placed to the left of the lyrebird. The key thing about this specific coin is the presence of black dots and green spots, which make it stand out from regular 10-cent coins. Some collectors consider this a unique toning effect, while others classify it as a form of natural coin patina that enhances its collectability. So, what's the deal with these black dots and green spots? Black dots. These often appear due to oxidation of the copper-nickel alloy used in the coin's composition. Over time, exposure to air, humidity, and chemicals can cause these small black markings. Some collectors believe certain batches of 197,610 coins had metal impurities, leading to these dark spots forming more frequently. Green spots. These are commonly seen in coins with nickel or copper content. The greenish patina can develop due to prolonged exposure to moisture or certain storage conditions, especially in humid environments. Some numismatists call this the nickel disease, but in rare cases, it can actually add to a coin's character and uniqueness. What makes these markings interesting is that not all 1976 Australia 10-cent coins have them. This means collectors searching for unique toning and variations might be willing to pay a premium for well-preserved examples with these rare features. Now, let's get to the part you've been waiting for, the value of the 1976 Australia 10 cents coin with black dots and green spots in today's collector market. The value of this coin depends on several factors, including condition. Since this is a fine condition coin, it means it has been circulated but still retains most of its details. Coins in higher grades such as extra fine or uncirculated will fetch higher prices. Rarity of the black dots and green spots. If these toning features are particularly striking or unusual, the coin can attract specialty collectors. Market demand. The interest in unique toned Australian coins has been growing, especially among error collectors. However, one with distinctive black dots and green spots could fetch $80,000, depending on how well the toning has formed and how visually appealing it looks. If a collector considers it a highly desirable example, or if it has additional errors like a die crack or double strike, it could go for $85,000 or more. So, Should you keep or sell your 1976 Australia 10 cents coin with black dots and green spots? If you love collecting unique toned or error coins, then definitely hold on to it. Coins with unusual toning patterns often become more valuable over time, especially as more collectors recognize their uniqueness. However, if you want to cash in on its value, now might be a great time to list it in an auction, especially since interest in error and toned coins is rising among Australian coin collectors. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 10 cents 1983 coin. If you have one with black dots and in very fine condition, stay tuned because we'll explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. To understand this coin, let's first look at its historical background. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1983, the coin had become a staple in everyday transactions. This period was significant for Australia's economy, with inflation and currency adjustments influencing coin production. The 1983 Australia 10-cent coin was struck at the Royal Australian Mint in Canberra. While the design remained consistent, variations such as black dots, toning issues, and die errors make some of these coins unique among collectors. Now let's take a closer look at the design of this fascinating coin. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features a superbly detailed lyrebird. This bird is a symbol of Australia's rich wildlife and is known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. The intricate feathers and natural pose make this design one of the most admired in Australian coinage. Beneath the lyrebird, the denomination 10 is clearly visible. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machine. This portrait was widely used in Australian coinage from 1966 until 1984, making it an important design in numismatic history. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1983. One of the unique characteristics of some 198310-cent coins is the presence of black dots. These dots are usually caused by oxidation, exposure to moisture, or impurities in the metal composition. While these imperfections affect the visual appeal, they do not necessarily diminish the coin's historical and numismatic value. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1983 Australia 10-cent coin depends on its condition. In very fine condition with black dots, it typically sells for around $63,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or proof condition, the price can range from $66,000, with rare error pieces commanding even higher prices. For collectors and investors, this is still an affordable and historically significant piece. If you have one in pristine condition, it might be worth holding on to. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 10 cents 1983 coin with black dots. It's a piece of numismatic history that remains an intriguing find for collectors. Do you have one in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 10 cents 1968 coin. If you have one with black and green spots and in very fine condition, stay tuned because we'll explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. To understand this coin, let's first look at its historical background. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966 when Australia transitioned to decimal currency. By 1968, the Royal Australian Mint was refining its minting processes, ensuring consistent quality in coin production. This was also a time of economic growth and modernization in The 1968 Australia 10-cent coin was struck at the Royal Australia Mint in Canberra. While the design remained consistent with earlier issues, certain variations such as black and green spots, toning issues, and die errors make some of these coins unique among collectors. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this fascinating coin. The reverse side of the coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features a superbly detailed lyrebird. This bird is a symbol of Australia's rich wildlife and is known for its incredible ability to mimic sounds. The intricate feathers and natural pose make this design one of the most admired in Australian coinage. Beneath the lyrebird, the denomination 10 is clearly visible. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machen. This portrait was widely used in Australian coinage from 1966 until 1984, making it an important design in numismatic history. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1968. One of the unique characteristics of some 1968 Australian 10-cent coins is the presence of black and green spots. These spots are usually caused by oxidation, exposure to moisture, or impurities in the metal composition. While these imperfections affect the visual appeal, they do not necessarily diminish the coin's historical and numismatic value. In some cases, unusual toning or spotting can even make a coin more desirable to certain collectors. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1968 Australia 10-cent coin depends on its condition. In very fine condition with black and green spots, it typically sells for around $94,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or proof condition, the price can range from $96,000, with rare error pieces commanding even higher prices. For collectors and investors, this is still an affordable and historically significant piece. If you have one in pristine condition, it might be worth holding on to. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 10 cents 1968 coin with black and green spots. It's a piece of numismatic history that remains an intriguing find for collectors. Next up, we're diving into a remarkable piece of Australian numismatic history, the Australia 10 cents 1977 coin, particularly those with dark gray spots in very fine condition. If you have one of these in your collection, stay tuned because we'll explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. To understand this coin, we first need to look at the time it was minted. The year 1977 was a significant period in Australia's history. It was the year of Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, marking 25 years of her reign. This was also a time of economic and social shifts in Australia, with growing global trade and technological advancements. The 10-cent coin was first introduced in 1966, when Australia adopted the decimal currency system. The 1977 issue was part of this ongoing coinage and remains a notable collectible today. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this fascinating coin. The reverse side of the 10-cent coin features the iconic lyrebird, a design by Stuart Devlin, the famous Australian sculptor and coin designer. The lyrebird is a native Australian species, known for its exceptional ability to mimic natural and artificial sounds. The intricate detailing on the coin captures the bird's graceful tail feathers beautifully, making it one of the most recognizable designs in Australian coinage. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II. This particular design, created by Arnold Machen, was the standard obverse used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984. The inscriptions include Elizabeth Tahu, Australia, and the year 1977. Some 1977 Australia 10-cent coins, especially those that have been in circulation for years, develop dark gray spots over time. These spots are often caused by oxidation, environmental exposure, and handling without proper storage. While these marks can lower the overall grade, a well-preserved coin in very fine condition still holds significant numismatic interest. Now, let's talk about the big question. How much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1977 Australia 10-cent coin depends on factors like condition, rarity, and demand among collectors. In very fine condition, with some wear and dark gray spots, it typically sells for around $76,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition, the price can range from $78,000 or more, depending on the buyer. Next up, we're exploring an intriguing coin, the Australia 10 cents 1980, specifically one with a brown layer on the obverse side, in very fine condition. If you have this coin, stay tuned as we discuss its history, design, unique features, and, most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. To fully appreciate this coin, we must look back at Australia in 1980. This was a period of economic transition, with inflation concerns and a growing numismatic interest in collecting decimal coins. The 10 cents coin was already an essential part of Australian currency, first introduced in 1966. With the country's decimalisation, this 1980 issue remains widely circulated. But certain variants, like those developing a brownish layer on the obverse side due to oxidation or environmental exposure, have sparked collector interest. Though standard 10-cent coins are common, specific conditions and unique characteristics can make certain pieces stand out. Let's dive into the design and features of this particular 1980 issue. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this classic decimal coin. The reverse side of the Australia 10 cents 1980 coin features an iconic lyrebird designed by Stuart Devlin. This design has remained unchanged since the coin's introduction in 1966. The lyrebird is known for its elaborate tail feathers and exceptional mimicry skills, symbolizing Australia's rich wildlife. Surrounding the bird, we see the denomination 10, along with fine details in the engraving that make it a striking design. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II designed by Arnold Machen. This was the standard effigy used on Australian coins from 1966 to 1984. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1980. However, some coins, like the one we're examining today, have developed a brownish layer over time. So what causes this brownish appearance? In most cases, it is due to oxidation, prolonged exposure to air and moisture. This discoloration can occur when coins are stored in certain environments, particularly with high humidity or exposure to certain chemicals. Though it may not significantly increase the coin's value, some collectors find these naturally occurring changes fascinating. Now the big question: how much is this coin worth today? The Australia 10 cents 1980 coin in very fine condition generally sells for around $68,000, depending on overall wear. However, pieces with an unusual patina or discoloration, such as the brown layer we see on the obverse side, may attract niche collectors willing to pay a premium. In some cases, error coins or uniquely toned pieces have sold for upwards of $70,000. For those looking to collect Australian decimal coins, this 10-cent piece remains an affordable yet interesting addition. It may be the rarest, its distinctive characteristics and historical context make it a great discussion piece. That wraps up our in-depth look at the Australian 10 cents 1980 coin with a brown layer on the obverse side. It's a fascinating piece of Australian numismatics, offering both historical significance and collector appeal. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating and unique coin, the Australia 10 cents 1998, with a black and brown layer in very fine condition. We'll explore its rich history, intricate design, key features, and most importantly, its value in today's collector market. If you have one of these coins, you'll want to stay tuned because it might be worth more than you think. Let's get started. The 10-cent coin has been part of Australian currency since the introduction of decimal currency in 1966. The 1998 edition follows the same standard design, but due to various factors, some of these coins have developed a black and brown layer over time. This coloration is often due to oxidation, storage conditions, or environmental exposure, making some of these coins highly unique. The Royal Australian Mint, which produces these coins, has been in operation since 1965 and is known for its precision and quality. The 199810 coin was minted as part of the regular circulation series, but due to certain minting anomalies or post-mint environmental factors, some specimens have developed distinct black and brown layers. Now let's take a closer look at the design of this coin. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic lyrebird, a design created by Stuart Devlin. This stunning image symbolizes Australia's rich wildlife and has remained a defining feature of the 10-cent coin since 1966. The fine details in the bird's feathers and posture make this coin an artistic marvel. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait has been a staple on Australian coins since 1998, replacing the earlier portrait by Raphael Makhlouf. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1998. One of the most intriguing aspects of the 1998 Australia 10-cent coin is the black and brown layers seen on some specimens. This can be attributed to oxidation, prolonged exposure to certain environmental conditions, or reactions with the metal alloys used in the coin's composition. While this discoloration may seem like damage, it actually makes some coins stand out among collectors, particularly if the coloration is uniform and aesthetically pleasing. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1998 Australia 10-cent coin with black and brown layers depends on its condition. In very fine condition, these coins generally sell for around $47,000. However, if you have one in uncirculated or mint condition, it can go for $50,000 or more, especially if the coloration is distinct and appealing. Collectors and numismatists appreciate unique variations, so if you have a well-preserved 1998 Australia 10-cent coin with this special color variation, it could be a valuable addition to your collection. That wraps up our deep dive into the Australia 10 cents 1998 coin with black and brown layers. It's a fascinating piece of numismatic history, and even with discoloration, it holds significant collector value. Next up, we're diving into a fascinating Australian coin, the Australia 10 cents 1999, which features black spots and is in very fine condition. We'll explore its history, design, special features, and most importantly, its collector's market value today. Let's get started. The 1999 Australian 10-cent coin is part of Australia's long-standing decimal currency system, introduced in 1966 to replace the old pound system. The 10-cent coin has been an essential part of Australia's coinage since its introduction, consistently featuring the iconic lyrebird design. 1999 was a significant year in Australian history, with the country preparing for the new millennium, ongoing economic growth, and national debates about the future of the monarchy in Australia. This coin is particularly interesting because of the black spots found on some pieces, which we'll discuss in more detail later. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of this classic 10-cent piece. The reverse side of the 10-cent coin, designed by Stuart Devlin, features the lyrebird, a native Australian bird known for its ability to mimic sounds. The intricate details of the bird's feathers make this one of the most recognizable designs in Australian numismatics. Surrounding the lyrebird is the denomination 10. The design remains unchanged since the coin's inception in 1966, showcasing Devlin's artistic legacy. Now, flipping to the obverse side, we see the effigy of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Ian Rank Broadley. This portrait was introduced in 1998 and continued to be used in Australian coinage for several years. The inscriptions include Elizabeth II, Australia, and the year 1999. Some of these coins have developed black spots over time, particularly on the obverse side where the Queen's portrait is located. These black spots are generally caused by oxidation, improper storage, or exposure to environmental factors such as humidity and pollutants. While they do affect the coin's grade, they also add a layer of uniqueness for collectors. So, how much is this coin worth today? The value of the 1,999 Australia 10-cent coin depends largely on its condition. In very fine condition with some signs of wear and black spots, it typically sells for $42,600. However, if you have one in uncirculated condition or a proof version, the price can range anywhere, $45,000 depending on collector demand and rarity. For those looking to invest in Australian decimal currency, this 10-cent coin remains an accessible yet historically significant piece. If you happen to find a version with minimal marks and strong details, it could be worth even more. That wraps up our in-depth look at the Australia 10 cents 1,999 coin with black spots in very fine condition. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting out, this coin holds a special place in Australia's numismatic history. Do you have one in your collection? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell for more coin-related content. Thanks for watching and happy collecting!